As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Yo, it's Jay Uso from WWE, and I'm Jimmy Uso. Chumba Casino and WWE are hyped for the biggest event of the summer, SummerSlam. I know, I can't wait. There's nothing better to do while we're waiting than playing Chumba Casino. Sign up today and you could win a VIP experience with Chumba Casino and WWE for SummerSlam. So what are you waiting for? Play Chumba Casino and enter for your chance to win. Let's Chumba. Yeah.
Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, don't worry about me. I called ART.
Traffic. Main roads are looking good, but watch for construction in both directions on I-35 northbound near K-96. From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, that's your Odyssey Wichita traffic.
Weather.
Good morning. Partly cloudy, hot, and humid today. A high of 93 will feel like 100 to 105. We will get a gusty south breeze, though, to help cool us off. Evening storms, some could be severe, then mostly clear and 75. More sun, wind, and heat on both Tuesday and Wednesday. Highs in the middle 90s with the heat index up near 105. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
Right now, the Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
There's a fan that ran onto the court taking a selfie with Victor Wembanyama. I'm surprised we don't have more of that in the NBA because of the proximity of the seats. You know, a football stadium, baseball stadium, you have to jump down, run to. Basketball, you're kind of right there.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan and the Danettes and you.
Middays from 11 until 2 on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
I'm Jacob Albrecht.
I'm TJ Cleveland.
25 years, one show. Wichita's sports conversation starts here.
Sports Daily, live and local, weekday morning, 7 until 11.
On 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH Wichita, KNSS HD2 Clearwater, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Hey Wichita, it's Jacob Albrecht. Stay right there for the latest breaking in sports talk. It's Sports Daily coming up next, exclusively on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. No one wants to hear what I've been saying for years, but I'm going to keep banging that drum anyway because it's true. The NHL postseason is the best postseason, and the Stanley Cup is the hardest trophy to win in all sports. The regular season is the ultimate grind. There is no load management or tanking like the association, and then it ratchets up in the postseason where every series is a best of 7, and you're playing every other night for 2 months, and every single game, every single period, every single shift feels like a war of attrition, and guys are getting their faces and their teeth broken and still refusing to come off the ice. And then there's overtime after overtime where stress levels are enough to make me want to stroke out from my own couch. And if you disagree with what I'm saying, you just haven't seen it. If you disagree, you're just wrong, because these dudes on skates prove me right every single year at this time. The best postseason is the NHL postseason. I'm Jim Rome.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org. For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
And And now...
Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
But that trick never worked.
This time for sure. Presto! Well, I'm getting close.
And now it's time for another special feature.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
I can't believe it.
Believe it. Sports Daily's back. TJ Cleveland is back with us after a little time away there. It's a Monday. Happy Monday to you, everybody. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland here on Sports Daily. We've got you all kinds of different ways. We got you on the social channels via our video stream, 12 News Connected. You can leave video comments on the social channels. Of course, you can call us, 869-1240. If you're listening to us right now on KFH, 97.5 FM, 1240 AM. You can leave voice messages if you are streaming us through the Odyssey app, or even if you're listening to us in podcast form right now, you can do that. We're glad to have you anyway that you join us. We will get into a lot of things today, a lot of baseball. The Royals, are they back? It's a question we like to ask a lot. We haven't bugged TJ with that question for a while, so we'll do that. We've got the Wind Surge making a major announcement over the weekend. Full-time turbo tubs. What do you think? It's a good talker. Curious to get everybody's take on that. And then, of course, the College World Series delayed for KU. Maybe a good thing because the Super Regionals have not gone well. They'll finish up the weather-delayed game coming up this afternoon. It's all what's on tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, now featuring Go Hazy, folks, IPA, a beer that's as soft and dreamy as a day game with a hint of mischief, just like our national pastime. This one will ease you through the innings of life until the big moment when, once again, it's time to go hazy, folks. WBC Pizza and Beer made here. Maybe Barry in the lead, TJ. We get some details on T Swift and Trav's wedding.
That's right. Downtown Manhattan. Aggieville's going to go crazy for that one.
I know. Manhattan, Kansas. That's an interesting choice. When I saw that, but yeah, we can. We've two high profile things. We've got Game 3 of the NBA Finals coming back to New York tonight. And here we go, man. It's going to be wild there.
For those of you that aren't online all the time, they are not getting married in Manhattan, Kansas. Believe it or not, it is Manhattan, New York. They're going to get married in the Garden, Madison Square Garden.
I'm not sure.
And we'll see if we're going to get it. I don't know. We'll see if we can get an invite from Sports
I'm
Daily.
waiting. I heard they're inviting a lot of people.
Hey, she's waved at me before.
Mine's probably still on the way, or when you're Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, do you still just, put one in the mail? Is Travis Kelce sitting there with the sponge and 1,000 envelopes doing the stupid thing where you have to wipe it and seal it?
The better question is, do Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift have to do the weird part of, or the awkward part of wedding inviting where you have to text everybody and say, hey, where do you live now? Oh, cool.
Hey, what's your address? Do they have to write 1,000 thank you notes for presents they might get at the wedding?
They better.
Hey,
Thanks
Jacob and TJ, thanks for the $5 Amazon gift card. We really appreciate it. You guys are so great. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know how that works when you're, a billionaire and millionaire collectively. Do you just have somebody? That's what I would do. I'd just have somebody else do it for me.
I assume they have those.
Yeah. It's a stamp guy.
Yeah.
You go down and pick up a roll of stamps and get these in the mail, please. I'd probably get delivered by kittens or something. Who knows? We'll have plenty to come here today. How's the trip? How's the time away?
Good. We're back. Played some golf. A lot of sand. What's the Happy Is the Happy Gilmore line?
Might as well call you David Hasselhoff.
This guy spends more time in the sand than David Hasselhoff. That was me. But yeah, good time away. I've learned, Jacob, that every time that I leave the state of Kansas, the Royals figure it out. It's like 3 for 3. I was gone last year for a week, and they were the best team in baseball. Then I was gone the end of April, and they finally started winning games. And then I left last week, and they go 5-2.
Yeah, you might just need to go away.
That's what it is.
We need the Royals to give us a little time here. They win back-to-back series, climbing back to 12 games under 500 now. Isn't that crazy? You're like, oh man, really good week. And then you look up and you're like, God, there's still 12 games back. Still back of 500. It spiraled and escalated quickly, but they're still very much in it and alive. And we'll talk about that and why. A couple of big injury concerns for Bobby Witt Jr. and Jack Caglione will be tracking closely all day today. Have you watched any of the NBA finals?
Yeah.
Did Spurs have any chance here? I mean, both games were close. They led one late. They got within one. This is interesting because I think a lot of people are, the road team won 2 games. It's a foregone conclusion. And I'm like, yeah, but those games were close.
I know. I think that game two showed me enough to be like, well, they were what, a millimeter away basically from winning that game. Like, there's no reason they can't go on the road and go do, they've got an alien playing for them. They can figure out a way to use them. And, for some reason, like, it's more so to me, Jacob, just what are the Knicks doing that make them so good? And I think that's kind of the question that everybody has, is that they've just found some secret recipe that is just working.
What you mean, because they're winning by big margins and just
not even that, but like you watch them. I mean, like, I haven't dug that deep into it, but like you watch him play and it's not like, oh, well, this Brunson, like he's unstoppable. Like, because I don't think that people watch the Knicks and they think that that's the case. Like, he's the superstar, absolutely. And Towns is a star, absolutely. But I think you watch him play and you're not like, oh, they're just taking this game over. Like, they're just,
I think it's just a good team. Yeah, Brunson's a killer. So he has the clutch factor and all that. But yeah, I get what you're saying. That we've seen teams like that be successful. The Knicks, I also don't want, like, the Knicks had high expectations this year when the Celtics had their injuries, which we've known about the whole year. Like, the conversations were, hey, it's the Knicks year, like that's not unusual, but they've delivered on it. And I think if you've watched basketball at all, like for most of us our entire life, you can't believe that the Knicks are delivering on their expectations. They were pretty good when I was a kid for a little bit there, the John Starks years, but they never were able to get over the hump. It looks like they might. That place is going to be, that's one of those tonight where it's like, yeah, I'll see you in game 4. Like, I wouldn't want anything to do with tonight. Tonight's going to be a mess. The president's going to go. They're going to have things like there's going to be weird security there. It's already like I'm seeing the ticket prices and all that. Like, man, just go to the bar, watch this one, and if you're going to a game, we'll see it game 4. Wouldn't you rather be at the clincher anyway?
It's true. Well, that's a headline coming up.
I don't think they're clinching in 4, by the way.
Yeah, headline later in the show, by the way. Here's a tease for you. The ticket prices for games, like it's so, like, if you had to pay what's the cheapest you can get, $7,000 to get into the game, what could possibly happen to make you feel justified and not have buyer's remorse as us, Jacob? Like as guys who have
think of it as
business buying $7,000 tickets to watch a basketball game.
Ben Stiller is okay buying a $7,000 ticket.
Like we'd need to see something insane. Like there's nothing that could happen.
The correct answer for me is nothing would justify that. In my current state of life, nothing. I can't think of something. You could tell me that, Jalen Brunson would invite me down on the floor and we'd go hang out, $7,000 for that? I don't know, man.
It's a fun hypothetical.
Yeah, we'll run that later. When we come back, though, let's talk Royals. They're looking pretty good. It's an interesting time, Royals fans. I'll admit it. We'll get to it next. Don't go away. It's All Brockton Cleveland on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Sports Daily is on KFH.
Longhoffer Lawn and Tree Care celebrating 60 years in Wichita, providing expert lawn care for a healthy lawn, tree and shrub care, and bedweed control since 1966. Longhoffer Lawn and Tree Care. Happy Best Friends Day. Bestie Day. Do you know it's National Bestie Day?
Why the hell am I sitting here talking to you?
That's right. My feelings are hurt. National Bestie Day. You can get BOGO free refreshers at HTO today. All the amazing refresher drinks, all the rage, TJ, among the youngsters. You're getting too old for this craze.
What's a
Everyone's
refresher?
into the
What's
refreshers.
going on? Does that mean what's
The
a refresher? Fruit?
Energy drinks.
Oh,
energy drinks. BOGO free all day today at HTO for National Bestie Day. National Bestie Day. We got national days for everything, but hopefully your besties are feeling the love today. All right, let's talk Royals. A lot of besties for people in the summertime is a good baseball team. The Royals a good baseball team. They certainly have not played like one. Are they one? I think is we have fun with the question, especially Brady's when he went. Are they back? Are they back? Look, they're not back because they're 12 games under 500. It's going to take a minute for them to be back. But are they good? That's kind of, I think, the question right now. Are they good? Were they ever not good? They certainly played poorly. There's no question about that, and have most of the season. Are they a bad team has been a question I've kind of struggled with all year.
I can't believe I haven't used the analogy for this yet, but I used it all the time the year the Chiefs had last season, is that if it swims like a duck and it flies like a duck, then it's probably a duck.
I think if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck.
Something like that. But anyways, the Royals are playing like ducks. Like, they have shown us that if they play like a bad baseball team and they lose games like a bad baseball team, then probably they're a bad baseball team. And until proven otherwise, I think that every piece of success that they have, until at least they're over 500, is just going to say that they're a bad baseball team that goes on hot streaks. Because have they shown us anything? Have they shown us anything different the last 2 years? Probably is a better question to ask. I think that since they went to the playoffs in 2024, they were a good team that year. Since then, they've been a bad team that has good streaks. And I think that that's the way we need to start thinking about it. And that may change the way that we talk about it, because we sit here and talk about it. It's a good team that goes on cold streaks, but they go on more cold streaks than they go on hot streaks. So by nature, they're a bad team that goes on hot streaks.
They have this year. Last year, to be fair, they were above 500. They had the 18-20. The year before, they finished pretty poorly before. And they got a little bit hot in the postseason. I think if nothing else, I don't know the answer to your question on that. I think they're a streaky team, one way or the other. I can't believe that the roster is bad, because I don't think that it is. That's what was so frustrating and has been so frustrating this year, right? Like, you look at it and you're like, okay, who would you replace? Like, how many positions, like if you were looking at this team, how many people would need to be replaced? And then you look up and down the lineup and you're like, okay, maybe like 2, maybe. But that's every team in baseball, right? And then you look at the starting rotation based on performance. You're like, well, yeah, I mean, and granted, they've had injuries there, but you're like, okay, yeah, I mean, that's, you feel pretty good about that. And then the bullpen, when you looked at that, and Ursig, but the performances have something to do with it. I think the bullpen was sneaky on us and has been the biggest problem consistently all year. And injuries had a lot to do with that too. But if we look at it, and again, we played this exercise last week. I don't know how many blown saves they have. I just know Lucas Ursig has 6 and Estevez has 7. So you're very traditional blown saves. And I think they've had a few more in extras and stuff like that. But you get to that point and you're like, okay, well, what if they just, like, let's call it 4 of those, right? Let's just say 4 of them they don't blow, and they're at a more reasonable number. They're 31 and 35. We feel different at that point. I think we probably do. So it's like, I don't want to, and again, it's June 8th now. And that's it's hard not to overreact to everything with the Royals, because whether they're good or bad, they played really bad at stretches this year. Can they counter it with playing really good? I think that's what we're in the middle of right now. They had a really good week. Should have been better. Blew another damn save. But now they have a chance back at home. Can they string it 2 weeks in a row? What if all of a sudden we look up and they've gone 9-4 in their last 13 games, which is kind of an expectation.
I brought up the point last night on TV is you look at the AL Central, or not the AL Central, the AL wild card, and to your point that you've made multiple times, is they're on the awful start to the season, but they're still 5.5 back. And a lot of times if it's July and you could say like, hey, it wasn't as good as what we thought it would be, but you're only 5.5 back. Like, I feel like everybody's just going to say, well, that's reasonable. That's reasonable. But I think in the context of there's 6 or 7 teams ahead of them that you have to get through as well. Like, that's the part that takes the optimism and takes a baseball bat to it a little bit, I think, and saying like,
almost always though, when you've got that distance, like they're almost always in the American League going to be playing teams they're chasing, right? So if you're playing well with this much time left, they'll have that with the Rangers and Astros this week. They're behind both of those teams. So yeah, you're like, oh man, but you can take care of that business right away. I mean, they're not going to play a lot of American League games right now where that's not the case. You know, they have these chances. I haven't even
chasing everybody.
I haven't even looked at what they are in the Central. I think the White Sox are 3.5 clear. That's so probably like 9 back in the White Sox right now. But like those are the things. But then again, like, but it's the White Sox, right? Like, I'm being foolish and for the entire year. But I'm sorry, I don't believe in the White Sox, not yet. And all of this is just a reason again to not like wave the white flag on June 8th, because that sucks as a baseball fan. Like that is not fun. And we had too many years of that with the Royals. Those teams were bad. There was no arguing against that. Like, those were bad teams. We weren't watching those teams and be like, man, it feels like they're leaving a lot of meat on the bone. No, they didn't have any they didn't have good players. They just weren't any good. Now you're looking at it and you're like, this team shouldn't be this bad. And it's only June 8th and all of these things, and they're starting to play well, and we'll just,
I think the better way to look at this here. This may have been the point. I was having trouble trying to find the words to say about this last night, Jacob, is that if they are back, if they are a good team, which is just kind of a silly argument, but the only thing that I think that there is to get excited about or to maybe have optimism for is, can they stay relevant long enough? And because the fact of them like making the playoffs right now, I mean, the odds of that happening, I mean, they already made their bed. Like, what'd you say? There's a 90% chance that they're not going to make the playoffs, I would say. 85% chance they don't make the playoffs. Like, they're overcoming a lot to get to that point. Can they stay relevant enough to make the run is the question to watch now. This is when you're down 10. Can you score 4 runs the inning prior and try to make it a 6? If it, can you get to third and manageable? Is the way that we have to think about this now. I don't think that we need to sit here and think about, can they overcome this and sneak into the wild card spot and do all these things? I'm more worried about, it's a bigger question, I guess is the better way to put it. It's the bigger question. Can they stay within the reasonable number? Are we looking at this in a month, and are we going to be saying that they're 9.5 games back? They're 10 games back at the wild card now. I think that that's the better way to think of it there than to say, can they climb that to get to there? I think that, recent history will show us that it's more likely they're going to go the other way.
Yeah, it's 9.5, by the way, of Cleveland and Chicago. So it is the wild card. And I think you're right. Relevance is a good word for it. And I've said this a billion times. There's the old hypothetical, would you give up, everything for one World Series? And I think for a team like the Royals, they're the perfect example of why the answer to that would be absolutely not. Like, I would much rather be the Braves of the 90s and make the postseason every year than to win one World Series and suck every other year. In baseball, and with a team like the Royals who have their championship, right? They have a championship 10 years ago. And it's a long time. And I'm not saying you don't ever get a chance to win a championship, but I'm not willing to sacrifice. The beauty of baseball is it takes you through the entire summer every day. I don't want to give that up for just about anything. And so I'm with you on that. Like, can they just be relevant through the summer here for Royals fans? That's really, as baseball fans, to me, that's what we're asking for. And if you're a reasonable fan of a baseball team in the market conditions that Kansas City plays in, I think that's totally fair expectation. The Mets, probably not. They're spending what they're spending and they're getting it wrong. The Royals, it's not the same. And we haven't even talked about the labor dispute. that's impending for Major League Baseball and what might be to come, because I'm afraid of it and it depresses me, the thought of a strike again or anything like that. Yeah, can they be relevant? By the way, Baseball Reference has the Royals at a 5% chance to reach the postseason.
Oh, it's even worse.
5%.
I thought I was giving them too much credit.
They have a best case scenario in their, I think they run simulations to get these, is a 500 team. But I would tell you also, what's interesting about that is it has their best case scenario at 500. It has the White Sox worst case scenario at 500. Not sure I really believe that. The Rays worst case would be a wild card team. And then it puts the Rangers at a worst case of 84 wins. So it could get right there. You just need here's the real challenge that's going to come is what do they do at the trade deadline? If they're fluttering, like if they start to play well again here and they get within, let's say they're within 3.5 games of the wild card at the trade deadline.
No,
but they're still 6 games under 500. What are you doing at that point?
I say you keep there. I think, what if they're 5.5 back? What if they stay where they are right now?
Then I think even at 3.5 back, I think you're shopping Chris Bubich. And I think you're shopping the pieces you need to shop, which he's the big one. Maybe Ursig gets white hot again, and you could think about shopping him. There could be some bullpen pieces that you could ship out because the bullpen is important. Obviously, we know that this year, but it's kind of a year-to-year proposition, right? You don't know. Like Lucas Ursig's looked like one of the best relievers in baseball for 2.5 years, and now looks unusable. Had a couple of, we'll call them decent appearances the last 2 times out, not quite as bad. But yeah, those are the things that'll get a little weird. But I want them to be weird. I want to have that conversation. Should they try to go for it or should they? What I don't want is the Royals are just not good. They suck. They're out of it. It's June 8th. It's not time for that yet. It's too early for that. That's depressing. What are you going to do every night? NBA, if you're an NBA fan, if you're about like that stuff's almost all gone. It's going to be the Royals, and we're looking ahead to training camp. And we're talking a lot of NFL, which I love to do. I love the NFL offseason. I love digging in and trying to surmise if Kyler Murray's going to have a renaissance season. I think that stuff's fun. But it's a lot better if you've got the Royals every day.
I'm telling you. The Brendan Sorsby story is about to go away. We've got no more runway to take with it.
And Bobby Witt Jr. is playing for an MVP, perhaps, which takes us to the other bit of news.
We need to talk about that.
Bobby Witt Jr. left yesterday's game with a sore knee. Jack Caglione left Saturday's game with a sore shoulder. You want to talk about taking the air out of the balloon? If either of those guys, especially Bobby Witt Jr., times 10, has to miss any time, that's going to be tragic.
And there is, as I've said multiple times, is that the Royals, when you watch them play, it's not like this guy does so much this is the problem here. This is what they need to do better. But if he wasn't there, this would be this. We joked about, not joked about, it was serious. The Caglione stuff about how he didn't play and how it's unserious that they can't play Jack Caglione. Would Jack Caglione have helped him win that many more games? Probably not. There's an argument to make that it may have made them worse.
Not as glaring as like what the bullpen issue has been. Yeah.
Yeah. But whenever Bobby Witt Jr. is not going to be in the game, I mean, he's the leader in WAR across baseball, which in the simplest way is just wins above replacement. So whoever the replacement will be, Nick Lofton, like that's 3 wins above replacement that we've seen so far this season. I believe he's over 3. So he's the one guy that you watch them play, and he's in scoring position again. He's in scoring position again.
He's hot. Bobby Witt Jr.'s WAR, by the way, too, in the thing that like it's a lot of it's because of his defense. He is just so good defensively. If Judge misses 4 to 6 weeks and Bobby Witt Jr. doesn't miss any significant time the rest of the way, he should win the MVP. Yordan Alvarez is having a pretty special season, but if we're stacking those two up, Bobby Witt Jr. is your Major League Baseball steals leader. He could get up to 50 steals. I don't know what his power looks like long term, but if he's hitting around 300, steals 50 bases, hits 25 home runs and plays the kind of defense he plays, and is, Captain America for what, baseball's looking for, that he's going to win the MVP, even if the Royals aren't very good. Because I don't know on the good teams, like who is out there that will factor in other than Aaron Judge. I don't think there is one right now this year in baseball. Like who's on one of the good teams in the American League where like, yeah, that guy could win the MVP. Bobby Witt Jr. is the odds-on favorite. The next odds-on favorite's Yordan Alvarez. The Astros suck this year too. So that's oh man, I'm going to be so bummed. I would imagine he'll play through it. Unless there's structural, and they said they're going to get imaging today. They'll get back to Kansas City. They'll take their imaging. I'll be pretty surprised, TJ, if he misses any time. Boy, I hope not. That is a buzzkill city if he has to go on the IL any time at all.
That's the other part is if the Royals are irrelevant, that is the one thing that you'll have that is relevant is, hey, we need to watch this season because Bobby Witt's going to win the MVP, and you want to watch him play every day. Damned if they win, damned if they lose. But if you have a player, Zach Greinke wins the Cy Young on a terrible Royals team, whenever he pitched, you watched it because he won the Cy Young, and you get to say, yeah, I remember that year. He did this and this and this and this. And yeah, I remember back in 2026, the Royals were terrible that year, but Bobby Witt, yeah, he was really good.
Do you remember, can you tell me how many times the Royals won the MVP?
George Brett, the only one, I assume.
Yeah, you're right. He's the only one. 1980.
Did he do it only once?
1980, Royals fans, since you've had an MVP. They've had a couple close calls. Bobby Witt Jr. finished second.
Lorenzo Cain.
2024. Yeah, I don't remember what.
Lil Cain was top 3 in 2014, I think, or 15.
He was
15.
third? I don't think he was third.
He got I think it's top 3 in 2015, I'm pretty sure.
He was up there. Salvi should have been up there and got no love his home run year as my biggest Twitter fight of all. Yeah, it was third. You're right. In 2015. My biggest Twitter fight ever was with Yankee fans the year I said Salvador Perez needs to be a top 3 finalist. Didn't say he should have won it. Didn't say anything other than should be a top 3 finalist. And I mean, that's the Knicks fans that are about to go ballistic here tonight. It was intense. I'm like, who are you people, number one? And how did you even find me? Were you searching Salvador Perez just ready to dunk on people who made any reference of him? Get a life, But the Royals play not today, tomorrow. They get the day off. We'll dig maybe in a little bit. If you have any thoughts on them, we can come back with that. Let's talk KU and what's going on up in Lawrence today, what we've seen when we return. They'll play today, not for the reason you might have hoped for if you didn't watch anything yesterday. We'll have it next.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination, they tell a story clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Daily is on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. It is Sports Daily. Glad to be here with you. Thanks to Crestview Country Club for being a great supporter of the program. Went to a birthday party out there. Somebody rented out the room, TJ. They had a bartender. They had a buffet. Nice little party planning. It's a great place. They have all these different rooms. We were walking in, and I was like, man, the parking lot's full. This is a bigger surprise party than I thought. And we had a moment there where it could have been wedding crashers. We went in the wrong door. And I was like, we're underdressed. My wife is like elbowing me as we're walking up. They're like, that guy's in a suit. And she's in like a really nice dress. I'm like, man, I don't think. We walk in and I'm like, wait, that guy has a boutonniere. And I was like, and that woman's wearing a wedding dress. And so then we're walking in and I'm like, well, hang on, pause. That looks like an open bar. Do I walk over and just see if I can get a drink, maybe take a picture with somebody? Like, do I take a wedding crashers moment? I didn't. We got wrangled up and made it to our room. which is where the party was. But it's a great venue, a great event venue place this summer. If you have from big to small, whether it's a surprise birthday party or a wedding, give Crestview a call and tell them we sent you here from Sports Daily. Ask them about all the different kinds of memberships. You ever crashed a wedding, TJ?
Almost did over the weekend. Excuse me there. Almost did over the weekend. Had 2 beach weddings. Those are the easiest ones. Like,
yeah, I feel like that'd be, yeah.
Because once you get there, like there's only like 20 people there, or like maybe 30 if you got like a bigger, like elopement type of wedding or something like that. And you're just walking along the beach and, beer in your hand, beer in their hand. Just kind of make eye contact. Like,
hey, everybody.
Hey.
Good to see it. Have you ever crashed any kind of party you weren't invited to?
I don't know. Probably not.
I was at a pro game. I'm trying to think. I know that I have the one I remember the most is at a pro game, like a suite. We're talking like a professional, like a big league, not a minor league. Like a suite door was kind of cracked open, and we were having a good time. And I was like, well, let's just pop in there and see what's up. And they had the big old spread, so we just kind of popped in and, like we knew everybody, made ourselves at home, sat with them for a while, watched the game, had a hamburger. It was great. It was a good time. And I was like, who would you ever really get mad at that? I don't think so. Like if you were hosting, you're like, who are these guys? I'm like, yeah, whatever. Grab a beer. But I did. I was like, ooh, that's an open bar. We could take a picture with somebody, like get a picture with that, like just make it into the role where they're looking at it. They're like, who are these people? I feel like that'd be great. We did not do that. All right, let's talk KU. We can start it off with a comment from Rick. Good to hear from you, Rick. What you've seen from KU for 2 days is that they can't pitch, hit, or field. They have to win with offense, and they haven't been able to do it against Oklahoma. They haven't played well through a game and a third. They have not. This is interesting because our senior college baseball correspondent, Dylan Domang, brought it up when we knew this was the announcement that this was going to happen. Oklahoma is known for their hitting. They're not known for their pitching at all. They don't hit for a lot of power. They hit, but not for a lot of power compared to the SEC. They're just hot. Like, I don't think that it takes like a brilliant baseball brain to watch right now what we've seen and say anything other than, man, Oklahoma's a wagon at the moment. And KU's just sort of in the way. And it sucks. It's unfortunate. It's bad timing for them, but you get an upset like that in the round before, and you hope OU beats one of the best teams in the country. And it's like, okay, I guess this was always what you asked for.
From what, I've gathered on the whole situation, I mean, KU's pitching, like, they rolled out their 2 best starters that they've got so far yesterday. I didn't even catch this on the broadcast. I believe that final home run right before the rain delay, they put their closer out there just to try to salvage something and try to get the bleeding to stop. And they put their closer in, and the what's his name? Tongi, Taki, I think Taki actually, hit a home run off of him too, which he's like the hottest hitter in the entire bracket right now. So you're right. Like, there's no analytical way to look at it of like, well, they're just doing this wrong right now. Like, I think that it's just, what are you going to do? Like, when a team's going to score 8 runs, the team's going to score 8 runs. That brings to the conversation of the rain delay. If there wasn't a rain delay and the momentum kept going, there's a legitimate chance OU scored 20. They had 8 runs in basically 2 innings.
I don't know what you hope for today. Obviously, if KU found some magic in the game that'll resume at noon, and what's our score? 8-1, right?
8-1 in the bottom of I think OU's still up.
I think so too. Yeah. So if you were able to find a way, and they could make up 7 runs. What did they make up in game 2 of the regional? I mean, it was
that's what I thought about.
It's possible for this team in the way they play. What I told you last night, I don't remember if we said this on or off the air, was, but then they also have to slow down. It's not just that they have to win, 8-0 or score 8 runs. They have to hold OU down.
If you want to talk about like pace and how hot OU's bats are, I mean, there's a chance that you have to win that game 18-17.
Right.
And can KU do that? They probably can.
They could, sure. And then if they do, and then you get to start over for a third game, you're like, okay, let's go. Because at that point, KU will have had. So look, the weather suspension benefits KU in some way. and we'll just see if it's enough. Like Oklahoma may just be too much to handle right now, but play loose today. The game will be at noon, and we'll take a little while, and then they'll just play the third game like right after. So, I mean, listen, KU fans, you asked this question last night: is this a disappointment if this is the way this goes? I don't know how you could find a path to disappointment.
I've been trying to think about a reasonable comparison, and one that this feels like K-State football going to, what was it called back then? Fiesta Bowl that season. And it's like, this season is awesome. Everything is going great. They go to the Fiesta Bowl and they get their teeth kicked in by Oregon.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing.
Or
except this is the playoffs, and that wasn't really a playoff game, but
yeah,
back
I mean,
then it would have been.
That happened against Alabama. I think baseball is so unpredictable anyway. Like the chance that I think if they were to go through this and then next year get right back to this round and the same thing happens, I think next year you'll say, yeah, that was a disappointment, right? This year, though, with almost no expectations, where were they picked in the preseason? I don't even know because we don't really pay attention to that stuff. But it wasn't first. I can guarantee you that. So it's hard not to. And you've seen Hoagland in a bigger spotlight than it's ever been, and the program in a bigger spotlight than it's ever been. And look, if you get there and that you have that disappointing finish, okay, fine. But not this year. Next year, I think you could start to say that.
I don't know.
I'm just, in baseball, I don't know how much this does for the program. Like those are harder questions to answer in baseball than they are in football or basketball.
Correct. It's very much house money is the phrase that I used last night, is that they have walked out with a profit. This is basically when you're leaving and say, man, I could have made $1,000 and I only made 600, but that final one, I could have made $1,000 on that one. That's where they are right now. The question, which we'll talk about this more if the season ends today, I'm sure we'll talk about this as a kind of a post-mortem in the coming days. But in baseball, man, it's not basketball. Like, you're not saying you're not the Shockers and having a good year and carrying momentum into saying, hey, Will Berg is going to come back next year, and TJ Williams and Dylan Battie are coming back because there's something going on, and there will be that there. But at the end of the day, baseball rosters are 50, 60 guys. You've got to find a way to get, this is a team full of junior college guys. I'm not sure. I imagine a lot of them are upperclassmen if they're junior college guys. So can you do it again? Can you go back to the JUCO ranks and get these guys again? Is the business model going to still work? Is there going to be expectation now of saying, well, we're good and we're going to be a favorite, so we need to invest and we need to go hit the portal hard and we need to go get these guys and try to build a roster that can go compete? And that's honestly, it's what you should do. If you want to be a good team, you go recruit the best players. You're not going to say, I don't want those guys that are at the top of the portal. I'm going to go back and do it this way. But this has worked. It feels like, what's a good example for that? Like, FAU, the FAU team that went to the Final Four is that, man, I don't know what they did, but they caught it that year. And then they came back the next year, and I think Dusty May said, after they won the national championship at Michigan, I think Dusty May said that next year was the least fun he's ever had coaching, because he took the team to the Final Four, and then the next year it was every time that they lost, it was just all hell broke loose because they're just wasting who's the guy's name? I can't remember the guy's name on that team. But you have to capitalize, and now there's going to be expectation. And is this going to be Jerome Tang goes to the Elite Eight and then gets? I'm not saying this is going to happen to Dan Fitzgerald, you know what I mean? But they go to the Elite Eight, and then expectations are sky high, and then they never met him again. So you've got to find a way. But it has to help.
But we know more about how that works in football and basketball, and now that's not even totally reasonable, especially with basketball, because everybody starts their roster over basically. But in baseball, it's always been kind of a start over from year to year.
Yeah.
Guys go to the draft, guys lose scholarships, you got to re-recruit young people. Like baseball's hard to hard to latch onto. It's what I was always so impressed when I got here, how much knowledge people had of the Shocker baseball program and how connected they were to it, because I was like, man, I just feel like you never get to see that very much in college baseball. And so I don't like how many of these guys are going to come back. Like, I won't sit here and pretend like I know a ton about their roster anyway. Before this run, it was almost zero. I don't know. I don't know how you do that. I don't know how easy program building is. Again, and we've said it before, 0 teams that made the College World Series last year even made a super regional this year. 0. So
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're good or bad.
I don't think it does to the next year's proposition for the most part. I think you just keep. Now, that doesn't mean this isn't the exposure KU needs or things like that to build on this. Of course they can. But to set an expectation for it seems a little unfair, I think. So just enjoy this while you've got it. Brandon says baseball's funny. What if they come out, score 3 or 4 runs, and all of a sudden we got an 8-5 ball game?
That's true.
That's
it's
what you're
KU,
hoping.
especially. That's the first thing I thought about is that Arkansas game, which they were down like six to 1 or something like that. Yeah, and they made it up in 1 inning, and they scored like 11 unanswered.
And they've done that all year. That's not even like unprecedented for them.
If there was a sport, this isn't basketball. If this not even that, if this was basketball and we were sitting here saying like, yeah, they just took a break after 1 quarter, KU's down by 32, like that's the equivalent. But in baseball, it doesn't feel that insane just because, especially in college. But if this was the MLB, I think we could just wash our hands and be like, well, that was fun. But I bet let's put a number out there. How many more total runs will be scored in this game? I mean, there's going to be 10.
We're at 9 now,
and not even 3 innings. Yeah, there's going to be 10 more runs.
That's probably a safe over/under, and I'd take the over.
Yeah.
I'd take the over.
Again, we're not chalking it up here.
We're in game 2 of the series where at least KU's already like into the bullpen. That's what I mean.
To use the closer.
Probably going to score some runs. Probably so is Oklahoma.
The winner of this game will get to 14 runs.
Ooh. Well, KU probably hopes that's the answer because that means they'll have scored a bunch.
Yeah.
If OU, you got to hope KU gets at least 8.
Or OU just keeps scoring and KU
That's
doesn't.
what I mean. Yeah, I don't. All right, we'll come back. Headlines I missed makes a return. We can look to the NBA Finals, catch another couple headlines. We got to talk Turbo Tubs when we return on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, Stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
And now...
Hey, Rocky! Watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat!
But that trick never worked.
This time for sure! Presto! Well, I'm getting close.
And now it's time for another special feature.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
I can't believe it.
Welcome in, another hour of Sports Daily. TJ Cleveland and Jacob Albrocht in with you on a Monday morning, getting you through a busy weekend of baseball. We don't know if the Royals are back or not, but it feels like they're getting somewhere. KU baseball, big afternoon for them. And Jacob, the Turbo Tubs are permanent. We'll talk about that coming up later in the hour, but we've got some headlines to get to.
All right, Sports Daily fans, let's take you to the sports headlines Jacob probably didn't see.
Jacob, I've missed some headlines. Do you have anything that I haven't seen?
Oh,
should we run it that way?
Yeah, we could. We could. Did you see the guy with the selfie? We got a little run out of that.
Mm-hmm.
What else did we get run out of? That we there was something I was thinking about right when we came off the top of the show. It is the Stanley Cup the hardest trophy to win?
Started on that. I was listening that day, and Max is the most hard-headed person on earth.
What else did we get into in this segment?
You're absolutely right, Jacob. Max, you're both right. Max is right that Hockey is, you could make an argument, one of the hardest sports to play. Like the average person.
I agree with that sentiment.
Yes. But to say that it's the hardest trophy to win is a different argument. Like it's the hardest sport to play, but in turn, you have to take that back to ground zero and just assume that like there's professional hockey players versus professional baseball players that play baseball. Which one is harder to get to the trophy? Whatever that answer may be. I'm not sure. It's probably March Madness, I think is what you were saying, because you have to win 6 games in a row and you can't lose.
Yeah, that's it. It's more about in what sport does the best team have the best chance to lose, I think. And in hockey, I don't think the best team had. Now, we see lower seeds win in hockey, but I still like the 1-game format. You can't you're not going to tough that.
7-game series. All right. You want some headlines from me?
Let's do it.
Okay. Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce. We know about the wedding. Did you see this headline? They went to that Cavaliers game in the Eastern Conference Finals.
When he chugged a beer?
Yep. The seat that Taylor Swift was sitting in has now been put up for auction.
Oh, good Lord. Do you think, speaking of the beer chugging, do you think like she had to look like she was impressed by that? Fast forward 3 years from now. Same scenario. You've been married. Honeymoon phase is over.
I know where we're going here. What would your wife's reaction be if you stood up and chugged a beer while you're on the Jumbotron? Maybe not your wife in particular. Us normal people, normal wife.
Not impressed. I mean, my wife would. I don't know. She'd be disappointed if I let the moment go too. So it's like you walk this fine line. Like, do you really want to see how awesome I am? It might embarrass you, though. Like Taylor Swift was, it's kind of like, oh, yay. But I'm telling you, in 3 years, there's an eye roll mixed in there for sure.
Yep.
There's no question. No question. My wife sent me a funny video yesterday, and it's a guy and things I can do to annoy my wife. Take a nap, eat chips, just like stupid. Like there's no way in a few years. But the question is, does she pretend to be impressed by her husband getting up and chugging a beer in front of 50,000 people? It's like tarps off. Is your wife going to be impressed if you go tarps off? She was impressed our 6-year-old son did it. Would she have been equally impressed if I did it?
Is it as cute if Jacob takes his shirt off and starts waving it around?
Only one way to find out. Usually my shenanigans annoy her more than bring moments of pride, I would say.
All right. World Cup talk. We're a week away, Jacob. A week tomorrow, we're going to be watching Messi in, not Arrowhead, Kansas City Stadium, excuse me. That's right. Not the Jihad, the Kansas City Stadium. So they played a friendly, Argentina did. I don't even know who it was against. They played a friendly in College Station at Texas A&M over the weekend, which I didn't realize was happening. But they did. They practiced the day before. Then they played in, Kyle Field, right, as A&M? There's a photo and video that's making the rounds, is that they were walking out there, and Marcel Reed, the quarterback for A&M, gave Messi a signed Marcel Reed jersey and took a picture.
Yes.
Which, cool.
Shoot your shot.
A&M's, put your quarterback out there. If there's one person that should say hi, it's probably your quarterback. But people have just can you imagine Messi's man cave? It's like, yeah, here's Pele, Ronaldo, whoever else you want to say. LeBron James is probably in there.
If you're Marcel Reed shooting that shot, do you throw in the comment about from a real football player? Do you take the American stance?
I don't think Marcel Reed's got that kind of leverage.
I don't know. You're giving him a signed jersey. You gotta have some moxie to think
maybe
Messi
like Patrick
wants
Mahomes
signed jersey
can pull that one up. But
Messi's never heard of Marcel Reed.
That's the best part about this, is that Messi went up and took a picture and he's like, wow, look at this. Messi does not know who Marcel Reed is. No. Yeah, there's some good comments going out of that one.
Have you seen all the smack talk from the Europeans about how boring our stadiums are?
They're everywhere.
I love the World Cup. I can't wait to smack. Come on, USA, Canada, and Mexico. Let's smash them. Do we extend that pride to South America this time of year? Obviously, North America pride is on display here. We're the host. does it go down to South America? Like, because of the trash talking Europeans, like, are we, if Bolivia plays England, I don't even know if they're both in there. Like, are we team Bolivia all the way? Like, are we, how does that work this time of year? And I don't think there's the right answer yet. I think we won't know until time goes by. You're going to trash talk our stadiums? Okay, Europe, like, get out of here with that.
Yep, it's true. Rick makes the point. World Cup starts this week. I meant locally. I said locally. The games start next week. They do start this week. Team USA plays later this week. Yeah, Jacob, we're going to have to
in LA.
We can talk about Team USA World Cup.
Can we?
We'll do that. As well as we talked about USA hockey.
Can we though? We need a senior soccer correspondent.
I can give you a better 2 cents about Team USA soccer, football soccer in the World Cup than I can about Team USA hockey in the Olympics. Outside of that was cool.
I can give you equal.
Yeah, I can give you
go USA.
slightly more in soccer. I can name a player.
Just one.
Two.
Who's the other one? Pulisic and
Tim Ream is the captain.
Oh, what does he do?
Striker.
There you
scores goals.
Yeah, I know what that means. I know what striker means now. I've got 2 daughters playing soccer 19 times a week.
All right, keep the World Cup going. Actually, the entire same storyline about Argentina at Kyle Field. Tweet of the weekend. This was just incredible. This guy's name. This can't be a real name. Calvin Applebottom II on Twitter shared a video. They put Leo Messi has arrived at Kyle Field, and people are going nuts about it. And this guy makes a point. I don't even know if this is true or not, but it sounds real. He said Texas A&M joined the SEC in 2012, and Lionel Messi has played at Kyle Field before Georgia has.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh, you know what? Just as you were saying that, and you know who they should have run out there? Johnny Manziel. I bet Messi knows who that is.
Yeah,
run Manziel out there with the jersey.
Yeah.
The SEC scheduling is weird.
It's very weird. Yeah. All right. This is a good one. Well, this will give us a pivot to the NBA Finals talk later. We talked about the tickets, so this is a stupid one. There was a good headline. If you haven't seen this one, I'll just give you briefly. Josh Hart yesterday had good comments about ticket prices and said that how bad it sucks that people of New York have waited so long for this to happen, and now nobody can go because they're so expensive that the normal Knicks fan can't go to the game, which, is a separate argument in itself of what you can even do, but there's like legal things that you have to do at that point to try to prevent this, but I have no idea how to fix that.
The Knick fans are so excited so that the people that live in LA who grew up in New York 45 years ago can go to the games. That's basically, that does kind of suck.
Yeah. So tickets, this is where I'm going with this. Cam Scatabo posted on his Instagram story, looking for courtside tickets for MSG Knicks game 3 tomorrow, willing to pay $500 or best offer.
Is that a joke?
I don't know. It's like $500. You can't buy a freaking hot dog for $500.
Yeah, you can barely get into a nosebleed of an average baseball team for $500. It feels like those. I've seen some of the ticket prices. When you get into 5 figures, I just can't. Like, where are people getting this kind of walk around money? Like, who's in the market for this? Are there more rich people out there than we think there are?
I just can't. Like, back to my question I had earlier. Even like, I don't know. Even if I'm like buying like a ticket that's like $1,000, like I would have so much heartburn doing that. For one, and two, what if they lose? What if they lose?
Are you going
30?
by yourself?
Yeah,
Are you just going to go sit with strangers?
That's another part of this too. Is are you buying 2 tickets? Because that's an entirely other thing. What if they lost? Like, that's the part of the buying tickets. It's not a concert ticket where it's like, this is going to be incredible. You could go and have the worst night of your life.
All right, thanks.
And then you might be one of the people that says, "Oh, they're losing. Let's leave early."
Nobody better do that. Got to beat traffic in New York. Thanks to Prairie Fire Coffee for keeping us fueled up. Let's talk Turbo Tubs when we return on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
31001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Sports Daily on KFH.
Welcome back in, everybody. Everything we're talking about the rest of this show is What's on Tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, now featuring the Cheeseburger and Pizza Dice Pizza, beef, American, and Monterey Jack cheese, pickle onion, burger seasoning, drizzled with a tangy burger sauce, cheeseburger in Pizza Dice at WBC, your summertime pizza made here. We come back. Let's talk Turbo Tubs, TJ. So the big announcement over the weekend, the Wind Surge announced that they will have some big news on Saturday, and they did. They are rebranding after this year, no longer the Wind Surge, but will become full-time the Turbo Tubs. Now, I will tell you here, and I don't know if I've said it on the show. I think I probably have. They should have been the Turbo Tubs from the outset. The second they rolled that out, year one, right? They rolled that out in the first season as an alter ego, I believe. It was like, boy, they missed the boat. They should have just been the Turbo Tubs. The uniforms,
Missed the boat, nice.
The fun colors, the name is catchy and alliterative, and all of these things. And it's like that would have been, Tubs shortens nicely. The history with Wichita, all of it is like that. That should have been the name.
Yeah, as I made the point. Go ahead. Keep going.
I'm gonna tell you, like, I'm 100% behind this decision. I think this is the right thing to do.
I think that it's. I said last night, it's more so just not the Wind Surge. I think that of all of the alter egos that they have, and I get Wind Surge is supposed to be the traditional one, so it is the most boring of the 5 names that they had of Turbo Tubs, Chili Buns, Honkers, Tumbas Vacas. It's the most boring one that they had, but also people just didn't really love it from the get-go. It didn't have any ties to Wichita, I think, is the biggest complaint that I'd say that I had. I liked it. It was a cool name. Nobody else was the Wind Surge.
On everybody, honestly. Like now it but that's just because it's the name. Like because it's the name, now we just think of it that way.
I agree. And now, and as part of this too, there's going to be a lot of people that, in 5 years, they should have never left the Wind Surge. And it's just what people do. But there's going to be like a nostalgia factor. I remember back when they were the Surge, the same way people say, I remember when they were the Wranglers. I remember when they were the Arrows, so on and so forth. So the fact of moving to something that has the Wichita ties to it, and it just so happened to be one that they already had, would this have gotten the same response? Because I feel like it's been positive for basically everything.
I think it met positive. Yeah, there's always going to be Karens.
Yeah, I'd say based on what I've seen on social media, I'd say there's like 70% positive.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I bet the real number's higher. I bet the real number's higher.
Yeah, there's a lot of loud minority there.
If you went back to if we went back to the announcement of Wind Surge, and you said, okay, we're gonna vote. We're down to 2, and we're gonna actually vote. Winner gets it. And you had Turbo Tubs and like the color, and you got to see it all, or Wind Surge, you got to see it all. I think that vote goes 70-30 at worst for Turbo Tubs.
Probably.
I mean, it's people will remember Wichita because their mascot is Turbo Tubs.
Yep.
People will see that from other cities and they'll be like, what is that? And then maybe we can show them a tub race down the Arkansas. And they're like, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Amarillo named their team the Sod Poodles.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
They were good right out of the gate. So as you can imagine, when they rolled out, we're going to be the Sod Poodles. Everyone's like, what? That's Sod Poodles. And prairie dogs are actually like a nuisance animal. But then by the end of the year, they're making songs and videos about how much they love the Sod Poodles and everything. They just give it a chance.
Yeah.
And the good thing about Turbo Tubs is we know we know how popular the Turbo Tubs are. Just go to a game. Half the gear is Turbo Tubs gear.
That's what I'm saying. It's very interesting is that usually in a rebrand, you don't have the chance to know that your fans already like it. Like if they were to do this and just rip off the Band-Aid and like, we're not the Wind Surge anymore, we're the Turbo Tubs, and we hadn't seen anything
before,
you'd say, what the hell is that? What is a Turbo Tub? So, it's leaning into things that already exist. I think that, like you said, you go to a Wind Surge game, you see a lot of Turbo Tub shirts anyways. Another point that I wanted to make on this is whenever my mind goes to, like, it's a silly name. It's obviously a silly name, just like Sod Poodles is a silly name. whenever you say that, if it like rolls off the tongue, you're in a different city and you're like, hey, yeah, we're going to go to a Turbo Tubs game. They're going to be like, what is a Turbo Tub? Like, what is that? My counterpoint to that, what if you told them you're going to a Wind Surge game? Like, there's no ties to that at all. Like, at least at this point, you can say like, oh, Turbo Tubs, they do this thing during Riverfest, and this is what it is. Instead of Wind Surge, yeah, it gets kind of windy sometimes, and the wind blows pretty hard.
Here's the reputation part of it too. Like, you're the Turbo Tubs, okay. Now you're developing a reputation, whether it's to do something like the chili buns and bring in, the world's greatest eater, whether it's to be the honkers and all the fun that comes with being the honkers, right? No matter, like, you build this reputation, whether you have a fight in the stands that turns into a viral moment, that turns into a fun giveaway that everyone's super excited about, and I got me a sleeve, like all the things that are happening, the relevancy becomes the most important thing. And that's why I was so disappointed at the time in Wind Surge. Like, man, there's just nothing memorable about that. Now, how many memorable moments has the organization had this year? There have been a lot. Right. And that's what that's what the hope is. You want to be front and center. And in the example that I would tell anybody who wants to take this too seriously, look at Banana Ball. It's called Banana Ball. They're out there having fun. The percentage of people that you're trying to get out there that are coming to watch Twins prospects who might someday play in the major leagues versus people who just want somewhere to be able to go with the family to have fun, it's skewing more to the latter every year.
Yeah.
You're competing for attention in an attention overload world. So why wouldn't you just lean into that?
And I will say the biggest part of this is for people like me and kind of like you. I'm more of a nerd than you are about it, but like, the uniform nerds and the hat nerds and the logo nerds and that part of it. Like, I love the Wind Surge logo. It's really, really cool.
The logo is good. Yes.
The Pegasus jumping through a duck, like that it's really good.
It's a good logo.
The Turbo Tubs logo is also really cool. And now you get to have all these obscure bright orange merch and things like that. Like, that's the part of it that is the coolest part of this, and that's the part where I really, really like it, is because it lets you have all this wild creativity, kind of zany stuff, and a little over the top, but not too much over the top. And so I'm excited about it for that standpoint as well. But it's wild. I mean, it's a fun little name change, and like, it's kind of just like it's a lighthearted story, obviously, but for you and I who are baseball historians, this is Wichita history. You go outside that stadium.
It's a pretty big risk. It is, but that's why I want to, like, out front say this is something that I thought should have happened the first day they played baseball in the new stadium. And the second you see that Turbo Tubs rollout, I mean, I'm telling you, most of us saw that and we were like, damn, that's what they should have been. That this is what they should have been to begin with. Like, I remember that conversation vividly. The first time we started, like, this is awesome. This would have been way better. And so here we go. And yeah, but you might have to, but the Wind Surge stuff will be cool. Like, if you're worried about, I already bought a Wind Surge, then wear the Wind Surge hat.
Oh yeah.
I mean, go to a game.
It's even cool. It's even cooler now.
Yeah. Go to the game and look at how many Turbo Tubs hats there are at a Wind Surge game, right? Like, it's not that
So
big
what
a
have we
deal.
gotten? What's our minor league name counter up to recently? So it's Turbo Tubs, Wind Surge. Before that, it would have been the Wing Nuts, Wranglers, Arrows. Yeah. So that's already a pretty loaded
There's one
bunch.
more we're forgetting, but that's minor league. I mean, it's minor league baseball, guys. Don't take it don't take it so seriously that it gets in the way of having fun. We built a beautiful downtown ballpark. We want as many people in that thing. Like, it's one of those things for the city. Like, you drive by it and you're like, man, that's nice. And you go to a game and you want people to remember it. And you want people to have fun with it. You want all of those things. And I think this will be the right call. So I'm glad they did it. I don't know that I know anybody, like, personally that wouldn't say it was a good decision. The haters online are always going to be there. So it's hard to it's hard to take too much credence in that, but we'll see. I'm looking forward to that whole identity becoming like a more of a Wichita thing, an identity. I think it'll be super fun.
For anybody that thinks that it is too zany, the players coming up to Wichita come from single A of the Cedar Rapids Colonels, where they wear corn cobs on their hats.
Kernels too, not like
not the
colonels.
not the colonels, the Colonels.
Again, like why does anybody want it to be so serious? There are the Burlington sock puppets and the Carolina disco turkeys and the Montgomery biscuits and the famous Rocket City trash pandas.
Yep,
You've
true.
got the Binghamton rumble ponies, the Hartford yard goats. At a time, the Albuquerque Isotope seems wild and crazy back in the day. Jacksonville, the AAA for the Marlins, or the jumbo shrimp. The Marlins high A are the Sky Carp. There's an independent team in Kentucky. This is awesome. This is great. The Florence Yawls. The Yawls. That's so good. That's so good. The Sugarland Space Cowboys. Sugarland's a AAA. They just rebranded
They used to
themselves,
be the Skeeters, didn't they?
which was a good one. They just rebranded to the Space Cowboys. Everybody knows the Trash Pandas. The Giants AA, the Richmond Flying Squirrels. We mentioned the Biscuits, which is another good one. I mentioned Rumble Ponies. Now I'm seeing the Blue Rocks. There's just the Iron Pigs are another famous one.
Yep. This is where I need to see them go from here. So we're not going to get basically any other news on this until the end of the year, because they're going to be the Wind Surge until the end of the year. They're going to roll out jerseys and things like that. Right now, there is, if I'm not mistaken, unless they've done something recently, there's one Turbo Tubs jersey that they've had. And it's that bright orange, kind of purple looking sunset thing that is all over the place and zany and wacky. And they wear like the teal caps. And I think sometimes they also wear purple caps and stuff like that. But it's very bright on purpose, obviously. I need to see them, and this is my uniform nerd brain talking. I need to see them release a normal-ish jersey. Like, I need to see the white on white home jersey and then put something crazy. Put the troll on the white jersey. Like, I need to see those and then go crazy with the alternates that they have.
Well, they've got like the sunset looking jersey.
Yeah. I need to see like a white jersey and a gray, because they have to come up with a home and away. Well,
that'll be that right now. I would think that's their home.
I'd say that's their alternate. So the Wind Surge have a white jersey, a gray jersey.
No, I know. And
then a blue and a red.
I think you could make that your regular uniform, but yeah, they would. You'd probably want to see a white maybe.
You gotta have white on white. That's baseball.
It's baseball, but yeah, you've got all kinds of opportunities with white on white and that color scheme to do. That's the other thing you can do with Turbo Tubs that you couldn't do with Wind Surge. You can make uniforms that don't look like anybody else's. Period. You can't really do that with blue and red, right? There's lots of blue and red, but you can do it with Turbo Tubs, and yeah, they'll probably come out with. I don't know though. I think they may keep the colored jersey as the primary, but they'll have a white option. I'll tell you, the underrated jersey of the Wind Surge are their roads. The road grays I love. We don't know what maybe that's what you do. Maybe you wear Turbo Tubs colorful on the road with gray. I don't know. You get lots of chances though, lots of opportunities. There's the Turbo Tubs now. It just is cooler. It's cooler. It feels like the way Royals fans, your AAA team is the Storm Chasers. Which is great.
It's cool name.
It's great.
They had a good name. My lasting point here, and this goes for everybody. This goes for the NBA, NFL, so on and so forth, is that the name has to have a tie into the city, or else it's worthless. Why are they the Utah Jazz? Like, that to me is the silliest. And I understand that they moved and kept it.
Yeah.
Or, even the Los Angeles Lakers even don't have anything to do with Los Angeles.
Right.
Like, every time. Like
I do think in pro sports you can get a hall pass if you
sometimes like with the Lakers are a good example. Like
the
you
Las
can't
Vegas Athletics are going to be fine. Not that athletics is something, but like you can't lose the A's. You got to still be the A's, don't you?
More
like,
so, my point more so is that the Jazz are the perfect example of like there's no Jazz in Utah. Like there's a very little Jazz there's a little Jazz in Utah. Like let them be something with the mountains and give the Jazz back to New Orleans and just do it that way. So I've always been a big proponent of if you can name them something that has to do with the I guess the weather was the wind surge, but nobody looks at Wichita and you're like, man, they're windy, huh? It's really windy there. I mean, it is, but that's not a calling point of Wichita or an obscure thing that is local to Wichita. Not like what's the new hockey team? The Utah Mammoth. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, they're in the mountains.
Seattle
cold
Kraken.
Weather. The Kraken is awesome. Exactly. That's the point.
You want to know what I think? And I don't mean this as this was a problem I also had with the wind surge as we're talking about it, and the Mammoth and the Kraken. I can't stand non-plural.
Oh, yeah.
S-plural mascots.
You don't have to, which, by the way, I sent the tweet out, and I used the wrong grammar in the tweet that I said the wind surge is going away, but it's the wind surge. I guess the name wind surge is, the team wind surge are.
Yeah, I see that. Like, I don't want to have that conversation.
Which, by the way, drives me up the wall when people get it wrong. Like the Thunder, Oklahoma City Thunder, they posted on their official account, Thunder wins. And I was like, no. Thunder is plural. Thunder win, not Thunder wins.
That's what I don't like about it. Like, we don't need a grammar lesson every time. Like, I'm as excited as anything else. I'm excited we get an S back on the
absolutely.
mascot.
The other part of that, whenever you don't have an S, is that you get into weird conversation where you can say Bobby Witt Jr. is a Royal, Austin Martin is a wind surge. Singular.
Totally.
It doesn't make any sense.
Player. Yeah, no. We're winning. That's a win. That if it was no other reason except that reason, I am in.
Now I'm more excited. That's the most exciting.
I can't like Kraken, Mammoth, Magic, Jazz, Heat. Like, stop it. You can be the Heats or the Jazzes. Like, can we quit with that? It drives me crazy.
What's the plural of jazz?
I don't know. Jazz. That's the problem. It's the plural. When the plural is the same thing, the Thunder. Like, God, I was so disappointed when they became the Oklahoma City Thunder. Can we be the Thunderstorms? And again, no offense to the Wichita Thunder.
We had two pro teams in Wichita, both without S's.
Yeah, I can't. I don't like that. Like, I don't like that. Speaking of the Thunder, who were beaten by the Spurs, plural, great mascot, by the way. We will talk a bit. Should we be rooting for the Knicks?
I think Landry getting a ring is cool.
Should the nation? No, I mean, yeah, I get that part. I just mean, like, in general, like Joe Lunchbox sports.
I bet they are. I bet Joe Lunchbox is rooting for the Knicks.
Be rooting for the Knicks?
I think
that on the other side.
Yeah,
we'll hold on to that.
I've got thoughts.
Okay.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Daily on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. It is Sports Daily here on KFH. Glad to be here with you. I asked a question before the break, TJ. Should we all be rooting for the Knicks here? I'll tell you that I'm rooting for a 7-game series, probably more than anything. The games have been good so far. I even have an affinity for the Spurs. Growing up, liked the Spurs, loved, the Avery Johnson, David Robinson Spurs, and then it kind of elevated into Duncan. I've always thought the small market thing was super cool for them, that they've been so successful. I think it's easy to like Wembanyama. I've told you about my great aunt Johnny. So that part of it is all there for me. I'm going to root for the Spurs. But I don't have any issues with the Knicks. Never have. Most of the New York teams I don't really like. Never had an issue with the Knicks. I thought some of those teams growing up were cool. Larry Johnson's my favorite basketball player of all time. He spent some time with the Knicks. And like, it's one of the cooler sports franchises that has had almost no success at a high level in my lifetime, because it is a cool sports franchise. Like, whether you like, it's one of the memorable ones. You have that, group of American sports franchises that are like the headline ones. The Knicks are one of them. And so it's like, should we just root for them nationally? Like, as a rule, I know people around here have the Landry Shamet connection, but again, I'm just talking in more general terms here.
I think that you're on it. I think that seeing the Knicks win one is good for, probably basketball, to have a team like that finally get back there. Do I want them to win 5? No.
I totally agree.
I'm fine with winning 1, and then I want 2 new teams in the finals next year. I don't want the 2016 Cavs Warriors for a 5 years straight. Lane makes a good point. For the sake of basketball, we want this to go as long as we can. I'm with you 100%.
Yes,
and honestly, I don't care if the Spurs win. I'm always for storylines. That's where my brain goes now, is that you root for the storyline. And so rooting for the storyline of seeing the Knicks win one and seeing how insane New York is going to be if they win one is probably the coolest storyline. The Wemby storyline is also really cool to see him get his first one, and he may get more down the line. My point that I wanted to make before the break is that we've been talking so much about Wemby. The public perception of Victor Wembanyama has already started to tilt a little bit. Like, he's gone from lovable giant to this guy's really good and he's kind of a jerk sometimes, to now it's like he may be a villain already. Like, I think that people have I think that you got to be a Spurs fan to really enjoy, outside of, watching him play and you're like, holy cow, this guy's crazy. But like, if you want a story to root for, I think that you root for Karl Towns more than you root for Wemby's story. If you root for Jalen Brunson more than you root for Wemby's story, like, those are guys that played for other teams and, couldn't get it done. There was both kind of second fiddles. Karl Towns, people wrote him off a long time ago, and he's still one of the OG of the league. So, OG Anunoby came from Toronto, if I'm not mistaken. Like, he's on that list too. Landry Shamet's played for 8 different teams, and they wanted to run him out of town in Phoenix and all these other places that he's gone, and now he's a hero in the postseason. So I think that is the public's team in this series. And again, it's weird that we're talking about a team from Times Square, basically, that is the public's team, because typically those big market teams are the easy ones to hate because they're the big markets and you root for the small markets. But the way that they've had in the past, it'd be the same as if the Jets won the Super Bowl in next year or in 2 years. It's like, man, the Jets, that's crazy. The Jets are terrible.
I think a couple really good points in that. The Knicks feel like this is going to be their only chance to do this too. The Spurs feel like they might just be right back here next year. The Spurs are ascending. Their 3 best players are all super young.
True.
And the Spurs they have always had the ability to be unlikable, right? Popovich was kind of unlikable. Parker and Ginobili were for sure unlikable. Tim Duncan, people tried to be because he was so, I don't want to say boring, but Mr. Fundamental, the big fundamental. So, like, the Spurs have always been, it's been easy to root against them. That won't change no matter what happens in this series. That won't change. We keep seeing different NBA champions. I did not like what happened with the Warriors, but I also think in basketball, especially the NBA, sometimes you kind of do need that, Goliath for a David to slay them. And we haven't had that. The Knicks aren't going to be that. The Spurs have a much better chance to be that than the Knicks.
Yeah.
So
and that's the other part of this that is so weird.
People are watching, like, if you want the Knicks to get one, this is probably their only shot. Are they even there if Boston's healthy?
So that's what also makes this interesting. And just, paradox, maybe that's the right word. Whatever. The Knicks are the hottest team in basketball too. Like, typically, whenever it's like, when people got matched up, the Thunder aren't the perfect example for this, but when the Thunder were the best team in the NBA, like, they'd get in there and you're like, well, maybe I want to see somebody else win. They're kind of beating up on everybody. Like, I'd like to see a little bit of an underdog story, and that would be the Spurs. But I still think everybody's rooting for the Knicks, and not so much rooting for the Knicks. Whenever people say that part, like, who should you root for in the finals? Like, well, one, I don't need to root for either of them. I'm just going to watch the games. But there is part of you that, you're not going to be elated. Like, I don't think that the average Joe Lunchbox is going to turn on the game and be like, let's go Knicks. Let's go, baby. Come on. But you're going to watch it and be like, well, that's pretty cool. Like, I'm happy for them. That's pretty cool. That's nice. There's more haters in the world than lovers, I guess, if you want to put it that way. But I don't know. I think it's the Knicks, which is just wild to think about.
Yeah. I mean, it's whoever you want, but if you want the Knicks to get one, it's going to have to be right now. Like, I just don't think they've got staying power. Do they? I mean, maybe they do. I don't know. Jalen Brown, I don't want, I'm not as locked in, but I'm so excited that this group is silencing their haters. I'm so excited that Jalen Brunson is silencing his haters and getting his, deserved respect. And yeah, for Landry Shamet, what a great story. The Knicks are a great story, a lovable story for all the reasons you said. These guys all came from different places. They put it together. So we'll see. And I hope that we get 7 games more than I hope anything out of this basketball series. Spurs are going to be good for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Are the Spurs, whose trajectory is higher, the Spurs or the Thunder?
I mean, probably the Spurs, just because they're younger than the Thunder. They're both right there.
They're both right there. The Thunder can't figure out how to beat them. So I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. They're the two brightest. The Spurs are going to be here. That's the thing. You're going to have plenty of chances to become Spurs haters, I think. As, it's an international player leading the way. It's hard to imagine with Harper and Castle and Wemby that they're not there consistently.
So that's the other thing that I wanted to bring up is that I think that there also is a bit of Joe Lunchbox and watching in this, which is a good phrase, by the way. I'm using Joe Lunchbox a lot. That's a good one. The Spurs just won the finals in recent history too. I think that that's part of it as well. Again, recent history being a decade ago, basically at this point.
Yeah, but with another generation, there have been. Are we up to 1, 2, 3? We're up to if the Spurs were to win it now, it would be like a 4th generation championship. It wasn't the same.
No,
like the teams that won titles were not the same. The David Robinson, Tim Duncan championship to the Parker Ginobili era with Duncan,
Kawhi,
and then into the Kawhi Leonard year, and then into now. Like there. I don't know that in basketball, is there a more consistently relevant team than the Spurs?
Yeah, that's an interesting thing to think about, is that there's no players left on that team. But is that something in your mind that you see the colors and you see the Spurs and you say, like, well, these guys just were there, right? Like a decade ago, they already won one of these things. And so I think that there is, even though there was an example of that from somebody. It was a big game or something that I can't remember who it was, but like, it's the same thing. It was a college or whoever it was. There was some college game about these guys played each other at this spot and nobody from either team was there, but you feel like I just saw this stuff. So I think there's part of that too. And I think that, Wembanyama having a star there, the same as having Kawhi there, same as having
It's going to be easy to hate the Spurs for the next 5 years. Like, it just will become easy for people. And that, again, does that make you want to root for the Knicks this year? To each his own. But I think this is a fun finals. I think the 2 games have been good. I've been entertained as somebody who, like a lot of fans these days, have to jump into it late. These playoffs have been entertaining. We're seeing history with the Knicks. No team's ever. What's their win streak up to now? 13 games?
They haven't.
That's insane.
They haven't lost a game since the opening day of the NFL draft. Is that the stat that I saw?
Something like that. Yeah. Like, since they were down in a series to the Hawks. Like, where did this come from?
This is
not sustainable.
At halftime the other day, I'm pretty sure that Charles Barkley said, maybe we should talk about the Hawks more. Are the Hawks the second best team in basketball?
That's fine. Man, he's so good at what he does. He's up there with John Madden as, like, I think he's right there. I think those might be our 2 greatest, we would call them analysts.
Sure.
For entertainment value. Like, they're just Charles Barkley's rivalry with the quote unquote fat women of San Antonio is one of my favorite things in the world. Did you see they brought the mayor in the other day at the pregame just to mess with him? Oh my goodness. He's not afraid to have fun with it. Like, no, he's not going to get on some apology tour. He's going to keep having fun and hope that they have fun. And so the city has now, but that goes way back. He's good. He's so good at what he does.
Okay. Actual basketball talk. How much stock do you take in the first 2 games of the series?
Not a ton.
How big of a deal? How big of a deal is it that they're going back to Madison Square Garden? It's a big deal, but is it impossible
itself?
Is it impossible for the Spurs to win again?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
No, like
I
don't think it's a bad bet right now to go take the plus money on the Spurs to win the series. And I haven't bet basketball at all. Shame on me. It's just been very busy. But yeah, I mean, that's the Spurs are really good. I mean, if you started the series over, what team would you take? If you got to start again at 0-0, they're down 2-0. Can they win in New York? They won in Oklahoma City. Of course they can win in New York. That place will be fired up, but they got to figure out how to get Wemby cooking a little bit. And he's a young player. Yeah, I'll be disappointed. That's my only disappointing possibility in this series is if it doesn't go 7. I mean, 6, I guess would be okay, but I want this thing to go 7. Here's what I'll tell you. I want this, and I hate saying it. I would love the Spurs to go in there tonight and just suck the life out of that building and Wemby be a total jerk about it. That's what I really want tonight. Like, just crush their souls and twist the knife tonight. That would be, because again, to your point, Dan Patrick and Jim Rome, who follow us, both say this famously and have forever. As a guy who's listened to them since I was a teenager, both of them, we're rooting for storylines. We're rooting for the great stories. The great story right now to me is all of this hype for New York, all of it going, like, you could not get it more hyped up than it is right now for the Spurs and Wemby to just go in there and just dash it to everything and then lean into that. To me, that is the best story on the table tonight. Whatever else happens, fine, but that's going to be the thing that would create the most energy and buzz for this series. There's no question. Because if they do that, now if you're in New York, right now, New York fans feel like this is our series. We've got to get Game 4 tickets. We got to get those tickets. We want to be there when they clinch it. If you come in and all of a sudden Spurs win this one, you're like, oh, well, okay. Well, now what? And then if they were to win Game 4, now all of a sudden you're back at 2-2. Oh no, did our luck run out? Is the streak over? Like, that to me is the most compelling storyline, is a Spurs win tonight. And if they do it, I hope they lean into it a little bit. Am I going to be surprised if the Knicks sweep this series? No, I don't think I'd be surprised by that. Would you? They haven't lost a game in like a month and a half. They could do it. We'll come back. We got more Sports Daily. Don't go away.